Alright, peace, Miss Mar L'Oreal, you feel what I'm saying? So this is going to be a reading. Welcome. And I just want to thank you for your patience as well. So in this reading we are going to be covering your sun, your moon, and your ascendant. And we'll also talk a little bit about your Saturn as well, you feel me? So this is how we're gonna do it. You know, it's crazy. I love spring, but isn't it the amount of bugs, you feel me, out here? Like all these bugs are crawling on me, it's crazy. But anyways, let me not get off subject. So as I was saying, we're gonna begin with your ascendant, you feel me? And so your ascendant is in Capricorn, and it's in the decan. Let's see which decan. Well, it's in the decan of martyrdom, or you know what it means to be a martyr, you feel me? Someone in a sense who always is like sacrificed. It's not even like to be a martyr. Like this energy is like, you feel me? Someone who is in a sense unappreciated for the things that they do. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I guess that's like the best way for me to explain it. It's like you're bestowed with a plethora of responsibilities, and you're an individual who has like such a great heart, you feel me? And you just do X, Y, and Z out of the kindness of your heart for others. But it's like yeah, like this energy right here, you feel me? It's, to be real with you, I forget what it means to be a martyr, but I can very much explain like the Saturn and the Capricorn energy. But yeah, so that is this decan specifically, you feel me? It's a decan of metrodome, or being a martyr. So you can definitely look that up, and it'll expand, you know, your awareness on this. So this is the decan of Capricorn that deals with, it's sub-ruled by Venus, and it's like the Capricorn decan energy. Feel what I'm saying? But anyways, so with your ascendant being in Capricorn, this means that Saturn is your chart ruler. And so the ascendant is also known as the rising sign, right? Or as the first house. And so when we're discussing the houses, it's important to understand that the houses deal with the different departments of your life, you feel what I'm saying? And so with that being said, the first house deals with the personal life. It deals with that department of life that deals with me versus me, we can even say. Not even me versus me, but it's essentially the aspect of life that deals with just the self, the I am, the me. You feel me? The first house also deals with like the body, like just how you naturally look, you feel what I'm saying? And it also deals with your health, right? Because the health is a very, it's a personal thing, right? Like when you're going through a health scenario or situation, it's very personal. And it's like, yeah, the first house, the sixth house, the sun and the moon and Mercury as well, you know, they all deal with health, but that's another story, you feel me? But yeah, so with Saturn ruling over your first house, Saturn is a planet that deals with maleficent energy. It's negative, you feel me? It brings struggles, pain, trials, tribulations, you feel what I'm saying? Saturn is a planet that deals with responsibilities, you feel me? Saturn is like a planet that doesn't deal with like love, you feel me? And it doesn't deal with love and like caring energy. But it's more of a harsh planet that deals with like karma and like it deals with like illness, you feel me, and like poverty and like all these things. And then it's like with you having your sun, you feel me, in the sign Gemini. I myself am a Gemini as well, you feel me? The sign, when the sun is in Gemini, the sun doesn't do so well in the air signs, you feel me? It struggles the least in Gemini, but for the most part, when the sun is in Libra, it does terrible. When the sun is in Aquarius, the other air sign, it does terrible. And then when the sun is in Gemini, it's in a sense, it's disharmonious. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like our expression out into the world, you feel me? Like the way that it may be received can, in a sense, be challenging, I guess, challenging to some. And this is because, so Gemini is a sign, you feel me, that deals with the self. So the first four signs, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer, you feel me, these four signs, they're the first signs to have manifested, you feel what I'm saying? Because it's like, before, it's like there was a sequencing of, you feel me, like when you see, for instance, 1 through 10, you feel me, 1 through 10, like the numbers, when you understand like numerology and gematria,
power off.
When you understand, that was my speaker, but anyways, when you understand these two sciences, numerology and gematria, and you understand numbers and their symbolism, because that's what a number is, it's a symbol, right? Then you see so many different layers, but you also see a layer in which you understand how things came into sequencing, how things came into creation, right? Because from 1 to 2, that's a whole story. From 2 to 3, that's a whole other story, you know. 4 has a whole story behind it. 5 has a whole story. But anyways, I'm bringing this up to bring up the fact that, like, the signs in of themselves, like, because Gemini is the third sign, you feel what I'm saying? It's in there. It's one of the beginnings, you feel what I'm saying? But anyways, so thus, Gemini is a very personal sign, you know. We're very concerned with the self, but especially with the thought, you feel what I'm saying? Gemini rules the thought, you feel me? And our thought trend is I think, you feel me? Is that, yeah, it's I think, you know, I think. Yeah, and we're all about thoughts and thinking. We're an air sign, so we're very more mental than physical, and we can be ungrounded, you feel me? Especially in our expressions. And when I say ungrounded in our expressions, I mean like we can be nervous. There can be the sense of nervousness about the Gemini energy, you feel me? And this is also because Gemini is indeed associated with the nervous system through Mercury, because Mercury in of itself rules like the nervous system and rules like the brain. Then the sign Gemini itself rules like the lungs, you feel me? And it rules the hands as well. Typically Geminis, we're good with our hands, you feel me? Yeah, we're just handy like that, skillful, or we can catch us doing something with our hands type energy, you feel what I'm saying? But yeah, so you have to expand and get into more detail. You have the sun and the intuition decan of Gemini, you feel what I'm saying? And so there are different decans of the signs, and this is like understanding it from a degree perspective, you feel what I'm saying? It's like if you're a Gemini that was born in the beginning, you're different from a Gemini that was born in the middle of Gemini season and a Gemini that was born at the end, you feel me? So ultimately there are 30 days to every sign, you feel me? 30 days. So the first 10 days signify a decan, the second 10 days another decan, and the last 10 days the last decan, is what I'm trying to say. And you're born in the decan of Gemini that's holistically Gemini, you feel me? This is the decan of Gemini that's holistically ruled by Mercury, you feel me? Like your Mercury, for example, is in the decan of Gemini that's sub-ruled by Saturn, and it deals with the Aquarius energy. And your Mercury is in the decan of Gemini that's the decan of reason, you feel me? So the decan of reason, which your Mercury is in, versus the decan of intuition, which your Sun is in, these are two different decans, but they both deal with the mind, as Gemini is a mental sign, and its dominion very much is the mind, you know. And we reap tremendous benefit from journaling, you know, writing, working with affirmations, words, thoughts, because that's what an affirmation is, you feel me? It's a thought, you feel me? And as a Gemini, if you invest into your mind, you will reap a great ROI, right? Return on investment, you feel what I'm saying? So Geminis, especially with the Mercury and especially with the decan of Gemini that deals with reason, you feel me? This is the deacon of Gemini that brings way to like scientists, way to individuals that just need to know, that need to understand, and that take understanding and knowing, you feel me, to a level where a level of intelligence, you feel me, like, because Aquarius in of itself is already a sign that deals with intelligence, you feel me, but then Gemini more deals with the mind and thoughts, you feel me. And so it's like Gemini and Aquarius, and the deacon of Gemini that belongs to Saturn, I guess, in Aquarius, which you have your Mercury in. In this deacon, the intellect becomes prominent, you feel me. So you would be great. It'd be of great interest, rather, I should say, for you to invest in cultivating your intelligence and your intellect. You feel what I'm saying? And so the deacon of Gemini dealing with reason is more logical and intellectual, you feel me? But then you have your sun deacon of intuition within Gemini. So this deacon deals more with just knowing, awareness, and this path that manifests in front of you, where it's like you are programmed to start believing in your intuition, you feel me? You go through experiences where it's like you kind of have no other choice but to listen to listen to your feelings, you feel me? And then Leo is a very much Leo, so all the fire signs deal with vision and imagination, you feel what I'm saying? And so with that means that Leo is very imaginative sign, you feel me? So with your moon being in Leo, the odds of you being an imaginative person, you're probably a pretty imaginative person, you feel what I'm saying? Yeah. But anyways, hold on, before we get into your moon and before we get into Leo, before we get into your moon and before we get into Leo, let me conclude on your sun, you feel me? I also want to say that you have your sun in the 4th house. And so the 4th house is the house that deals with the home and the family. So the sun, it brings energy, it brings life, it vitalizes things, you feel me? And so with your sun being in the 4th house, a lot of energy is invested, a lot of attention is invested into the home life, you feel me? The family life, you feel me? All that energy, like the father and X, Y, and Z, you feel me? Energies of that nature, you feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, so in this life, understand that family becomes of great importance, and family has a pulling effect on you. Not even a pulling effect on you, but it's just where your soul is most concentrated and centered in. The energy of family, you feel me? But then at the same time, you also have your moon, and you have your moon in the 7th house, right? And the 7th house is a house that deals with marriage, relationships, partnerships, love, you feel me? Like close, intimate relationships. So like you have the 4th house and the 7th house. So like your sun is in the 4th house, your moon is in the 7th house. So the sun deals with your actions, you feel me? When you think of the sun, understand that the sun is masculine. Understand that it's a flashlight even. It's a direction of energy, you feel what I'm saying? So like your sun is that energy, the way you direct your ego, your identity even, is towards like the home life. And this the home life is very much the family life as well, you feel what I'm saying? So thus also the upbringing becomes prominent, and like the family ties and the family connection also becomes prominent, you feel me? And it's interesting because I actually have another client that I'm working with who also has his sun in the 4th house. And so, you know, and I talk with him on the phone, you know, because he's a client that I've been working with on a longer period of time, you know, just helping him unveil the different layers, you feel me? And so as we talk, you know, he's very much entangled with his mother, you feel me? There's very much this entanglement, but yeah, an entanglement energy of like because the fourth house deals with like the heritage, you know, it deals with like, yeah, like the ancestors, you know, like the DNA and all of that, but it's very much familial. And the seventh house deals with relationships, a desire for a partner in a relationship. So it's like the fourth house is ruled by the sign Cancer, right? And if you know Cancer, then you know they're very much motherly, very much familial, right? All that energy. And then the seventh house is ruled by Libra, you feel me? And Libra, if they're very much relationship orientated. So Libra is a sign that deals with balancing, you know, and to balance you need two, first and foremost. And second and foremost, Libra's opposite sign is Aries, right? And so Aries is a sign that is the I am, the self, the I, right? But then like Libra is the other, you feel me? So that's just me helping you expand your awareness on Libra. So the moon, whereas the sun deals with your actions and where you're directing your energy and all that good stuff that deals with the ego, your moon is, so the sun is masculine, we have discussed. The moon is feminine, right? And when you think of the moon, right, we understand that the moon reflects, even though the moon very much does have her own luminescence, she reflects a majority of her, a majority of like the sun's light as well, you feel me? So the moon, your moon sign signifies with how it is that you are reacting and responding, you feel me? So think about the sun as the outer world, and when the outer world hits you, hits the moon, your moon, how is it that you react and respond? You feel me? That's what the moon is. It's your reactions and responses. It's more of a passive sign. And so whereas the sun is active and what you're acting on, the moon is passive and how you're reacting and responding when things happen to you. The moon deals with the subconscious mind, you know, the passive mind. It deals with the comfort zone. It deals with the inner self. These are like the aspects of you that you don't really bring out to the public. You feel me? These are aspects of you that you keep concealed. And so moon and Leo, with your moon being in Leo, first and foremost, it's important to understand that your moon is keyed to the sun, but then the sun is keyed to the Gemini energy, which is Mercury. And so it's like, so even like the way that Leo is expressing itself is in a sense influenced by the Gemini energy. And so Leo is a sign, right, that deals with the self, the I am, my bad, not the I am, the will, right? It's this, Leo is also the identity, but it deals with the will, you feel me? Like all the fire signs deal with an aspect of the identity, you feel me? And so it's the willpower, but also the ego and the identity, you feel me? It is the self-image, you know, that's what Leo is. Leo is a sign that associated with the lion, right? And interestingly enough, also, like, the Leo symbol does look like a sperm, you feel me? I don't know if they, yeah, like, I mean, if you look at it, you feel me? I don't know if others have talked on this, but, like, and so, like, even, like, a sperm, you feel me? That energy, it's an individual, right? And being a sperm is competitive, right? Because, like, the sperm wants to be chosen, wants to be the one, right? Leo wants to be recognized, wants to be seen, wants to be the one. That's interesting. But anyways, you feel what I'm saying?